first climbed this mountain, above the fog, I thought to myself, now here is a metaphor worth taking in. You've entered a place of clarity, understanding, peace. While you're here in Acadia, Synthkind welcomes you as long as you welcome us.
What are you?
I told you. I'm the old synth on the mountain. I know the plastic skin and tubes out the back can be unsettling, but I want to ask you to look past that. Tell me why you're here and I'll try to help you.
I came here looking for Kasumi Nakano.
Really? I'm impressed. Few would brave the kind of journey you've had for the sake of someone else. Kasumi is here. She's safe and unharmed, and you're free to see her if you'd like. Before you do, though, tell me, do you think Kasumi is a synth?
We're not answering any more questions until you play straight with us. Just who the hell are you, really? There's only one synth with that kind of face and a mind of his own. And I only see him when I look in a mirror.
Nick? It can't be you.
Don't give me that. What are you trying to pull?
Please, if you're willing to give me a chance, I can explain.
All right, Dima. We'll humor you. Keep talking.
This all started over a century ago, when we were first created. We were prototypes, Nick.
Keep talking.
One of the Institute's experiments had to do with how our brains could process personality. I was allowed to develop mine based on experience. It took several attempts before the personality imprint worked. I couldn't let them do it to you anymore. You were my brother, Nick. I helped you escape the Institute. We left together.
If I were your brother, I'd remember.
That's where you'd be wrong. This happened over a century ago. There's only so much memory that can fit into the prototype brains we have.
Ah, I've heard enough. I think you and I need to talk about this. Maybe not now, though.
We'll talk later. This is a lot to take in.
Nick, I don't need you to believe me. Now, about young Kasumi. It's important that you understand exactly why she's here. I asked you before if you think she's really a synth.
Uh-huh. She is a synth. That's why she left home.
Kasumi had honest questions about herself. She came here for answers. None of us take this transition lightly. That someone stripped her very identity from her. And I want you to understand that before you see her.
Right.
One more question, if you'll indulge me. You're here for Kasumi. Tell me, are you a synth?
How would I even know?
I'm afraid if you're looking for some biological test we can do, there isn't any. None that aren't fatal. Instead, you have to look for the signs, holes in someone's memory, feelings of unexplained isolation, odd dreams. But ultimately, you have to decide for yourself. What do you believe? Have you ever questioned your humanity?
No, but if I squint real hard in the mirror, sometimes I look like someone else.
I'm afraid when I try that trick, nothing really changes. I know it might seem impossible that you could be a synth, but tell me, what's the first thing you can remember?
I remember being in my house the day the bombs fell. We ran to the vault. We were frozen. I was the only survivor.
No memories before then? Just a single day and then waking up alone? We so easily accept what's presented to us as the truth, don't we? Isn't it funny how a memory can feel like a whole different reality? People, places, even sounds and colors can change. Or someone else has changed them. I won't lie to you. There will always be other explanations. Trauma, disease, the background radiation. But I can promise you that we will accept you.
Thank you. You've given me a lot to think about.
I'm glad to hear it. Acadia is open to you. Feel free to walk the grounds, and I'm sure you're eager to talk to...
I'm just gonna tell you right now, Dima. I'm in the Institute.
That's quite an admission to make. I'll say this to you. I'm not your enemy. As a scientist, can you not see the value of independent synth life? All you have to do is do nothing.
I don't suppose there's any way you and your people would...
I appreciate the offer, but we can't go back. And I'm not going to consider my offer.
Sure.
Now, did you need anything else?
I'm in the Brotherhood of Steel.
We're not dangerous. Those who've used us, all we want is to live in peace.
I guess we'll see.
It's all I can ask. Now.
I'm part of a group that helps synths. The Railroad.
Really? I don't understand why a group... Yes, they volunteer for the memory wipe. I know how frightening it is. The risk of capture.
I hadn't thought about it like that. I'm sorry.
So am I. Your heart is in the right place. Was there anything else I can do for you?
I should get going.
Of course.
Perhaps we're in there a long time. Are you feeling all right?
I'm fine. You worry too much.
Sometimes I feel like you don't worry enough. You know we
Hey.
blew 3 more
You tracked
relays.
Kasumi here.
I'm coming in. You
I'm
stay right
impressed.
there.
Perhaps not as quietly or efficiently as possible. I'm afraid your journey was unnecessary.
I wanted to see for myself that she's safe.
You have my word. Acadia is a safe haven for synths. Every synth I've tracked down, every synth convinced to come here, has been assured that my job is to make sure they all remain safe.
Sure. How do you manage to track down synths and bring them here?
I have a network of contacts throughout the area. I know the Institute's tactics. You have DIMAS' blessing, so by all means.
I'd like to help you all. Is there anything I can do?
Actually, as a matter of fact, there is. If you're serious, you've had some experience traveling around the island. So
All right, I'm listening.
We were expecting a new synth to arrive, and he should have been here by now. There's been no sign of him.
I'll find out what I can.
You should start by talking to Brooks in Far Harbor. He's the one who meets the new arrivals and gets... Of course, he's not likely to tell you anything. If he doesn't cooperate, tell him that his designation is L792. That's as much help as I can give you for now.
About you. You can't solve all the world's problems, certainly not all at once.
Dearest Faraday.
Circuitry is completely fried.
Kasumi Nakano?
Sorry, I'm right in the middle of something.
What's that you're working on?
Just trying to cobble some pre-war junk into something usable. Now, do you mind telling me what you're doing here?
I'm a detective. I was hired to find you.
You're a what? You came all this way... for me? Look, my mom and dad... I mean, those people that were taking care of me, they wouldn't want me back.
Because you're not really their daughter. You're a synth.
Yeah, exactly. I thought if I just left, it would be easier for them.
Right.
I've been lying to you this whole time. Your real daughter is dead and...
Sure. Kasumi, I think you're just confused. Everyone has doubts about who they are sometimes. It's part of life.
I really wish that was true. If I wasn't a synth, things would be so much simpler. Acadia isn't what I thought it was. But I can't leave until I've gotten to the bottom of it.
If something's going on, then I can help. Just tell me what's happening.
I don't know how you could. Wait. Wait, of course you can help. What if I told you that there's a secret? A big secret.
All right, I'm listening.
Okay. Where to begin? You saw all those computers that DIMAS hooked up to, right? Well, Faraday asked me to help do some repairs on them.
Right.
And that's when I see it. Data models DIMA has been making. One was the fog taking over Far Harbor. Another was a nuclear detonation on the island. Plus, death counts. What if DIMA is so open and welcoming because he's actually hiding something from us? A plan to wipe out the rest of the island.
I'll help if I can. But that's not much to go on.
I know. I've been working on that, but I haven't had much luck. I keep seeing Dima, Faraday, and Chase head into the laboratory at the other end of the hall. Then
Sure.
there's actually a storage space right next to there. It'd be a perfect spot to hide. I've also tried breaking into Faraday's terminal.
This'll be easier if I just talk to Dima.
All right. Good luck. Let me know what you find out.
I simply must share. I have news.
I can think of better things to get excited about.
Oh, that's so. No, I will not let you derail me. I begged to become a synth for a reason. For science. Using a new strain of mute fruit, I have discovered a way to greatly improve the restorative properties of stim packs. I realize this is not earth-shaking, but it means that inspiration does exist.
I know it wasn't easy, but you did it.
I find my head full of notions, experiments, and you have given me this capacity. And beyond that, so much more. You are very dear to me. My close friend.
What we have between us is deeper than friendship.
My very first thought in all this excitement was I must tell you. You know, you mean very much. Oh, I am so terrible at this.
It's okay. You mean a lot to me, too.
I dared not hope. When we're apart, I guess and second guess. Instead, my thoughts, they linger on you.
I love you, Curie.
And I love you. The world seems so very bright, and I cannot wait to see what becomes of this.
Hey.
Help yourself.
Hey.
You say the word. You hungry? These always keep me going.
It's time we each went our own way.
If you're sure, I guess I'll head home. Just, don't keep me waiting.
Hey.
So, you've talked to Dima. You know why we're here. I certainly hope that you'll consider helping.
You're right. It is a good cause.
It's so good to hear that. He's put so much of himself into this. Sometimes I worry about... And that's not even mentioning maintaining the fog condensers.
Seems like he's lucky to have you helping.
Thank you. That's very kind.
If there's anything I can do to help out...
Well, if you're determined to help, there is something you could do. There's a boat along the coast of the island. The boat never finished the trip, you see. My understanding is that the boat wrecked southwest of here.
Sure. What happened to the boat? Why didn't it make it?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Trappers, fog crawlers, there's no end to what's out there.
Right.
The point is that we already lost someone once.
Sure thing, Faraday. I'll get the drives for you.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Dima.
Feel free to say whatever is on your mind.
Kasumi says she's seen parts of your memories. Death projections. For Far Harbor and the center of the island.
That's unfortunate. Please. This is a matter best left to me and my advisors. Those projections were merely to help us realize the cost of inaction.
If this thing involves the whole island, then you need help.
I suppose there's something to be said about refusing help, even when there's a conflict that's been brewing on this island, shortly after we built Acadia. Between Far Harbor...
Simply put, they want to kill each other.
We've tried to stay neutral.
And I was friends with the previous leader of the Children of Adam.
Which was a mistake, because Martin is gone and the new confessor, Tectus, is completely insane.
He's been threatening us, to force us to choose a side.
Dima's earliest memories are stored in the military computer banks in that base.
But now Tectus is in charge, and he's after Dima's memories.
But we do know that I spent nearly a century on this island alone.
So what can I do to help?
If you're willing to retrieve what I've lost, and bring my memories back to me...
You'll have to get through the Children of Adam's base. Your new...
Then, once you get to the memory banks...
It's not going to be like a normal hack. I've loaded the program with some instructions I've recorded.
I'll get your memories, Dima.
If we're lucky, the pre-war defenses have kept the Children of Adam at bay. One more thing before you leave. Our ultimate goal must be to bring peace.
Turns out Dima's earliest memories are in the hands of the Children of Adam. He's afraid of what they're gonna find.
So, is that what those death projections were about? Or is he still hiding something? Do you have a way in?
I got this program that Faraday and Dima wrote.
Really? How would that work? I wonder if you'll need to, you know... Oh, but that's it. And then Faraday's program would be translating Dima's... I'm sorry, I'm making assumptions. It's...
I'll get Dima's memories, and then we'll figure things out from there.
Good luck.
straight and true. I'd say it's time for a drink.
Everything gets better at the bottom of the glass, right?
Braver than I.
Never look a trapper in the eyes.
I wiped out the feral ghouls at the campground.
The hero of our saga returns triumphant. It's only right you get paid for your troubles.
I think I deserve more than that.
I suppose I could part with a little more. Here's another 100 caps. I've been thinking about what's next, and then it came to me. You'd never want something awful to happen to them.
I'm sorry. You must have been very fond of him.
Everybody was. He had a farm, little ways north of here. The island sent something after him. Grandpa bravely stood his ground.
Sure.
If you can take out that shell-backed devil, it'll send a message loud and clear that
That fog crawler's gonna pay. For Grandpa George.
that's the spirit.
You got a second?
Hey.
What you need?
Hi.
You have time to talk now. Still have something important to say.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Appreciate it. We've been on the road together for a while. And we've taken... But through all that crap, I notice you've always been sticking by me. I think maybe it's time to tell you a little bit about who you're traveling with.
Didn't we already go through this?
It all starts with two wastes of humanity I suppose you could call me parents. I'm convinced I was a mistake, because I can't remember a single moment that they treated me like their daughter. I was yelled at and beaten. Everything I did was wrong. Nothing but a nuisance in their eyes. The whole time I was telling myself that they had to love me, even if it was just the tiniest bit, because they never kicked me out. Then me 18th birthday arrived, and I found out why they kept me around. They slapped a shock collar around my neck and sold me to slavers. They didn't even care enough about me to say goodbye. 18 years of suffering through that shite, and all I was worth to them was a pocket full of caps.
My God. I'm so sorry.
Thanks. But there's more to the story. It would be easy to blame me charm and personality on me parents, but they didn't make me this way. I did. I was with those slavers for 5 years. Roughest 5 of my goddamn life. The things they made me do. The way they use me for their amusement. It sickens me to me stomach even thinking about it. But I bided me time and learned to use their own methods against them. Stealing a few caps out of a sleeping man's pocket is a piece of cake. As long as you don't get greedy.
Don't tell me that your story gets worse.
Much worse. It took every ounce of patience I had.
But after 5 years, I had finally pocketed enough to buy my own way out of there. But instead of heading off to try and repair the shambles of me life, I gave in to me rage and I headed home. You can imagine the look on me parents' faces when I kicked open their door. What you can't imagine is what they looked like after. After I emptied me gun into them.
You did what you had to do.
Did I? When I close me eyes, all I can see is their faces twisted with fear. And then my mind starts wandering and I start judging myself. And it's ripping me the fuck apart. You think I inject myself with all that shite and drink myself drunk because I'm a tough Irish girl. I do it so I can forget and move on with my miserable life. So there you are. The entire flawed package known as Kate. Stripped bare for your perusal.
Why judge yourself?
My parents sold me into slavery. But did they deserve to die for it? Yeah, I took some hard knocks as I was growing up. But they fed me and kept me from glowing with rads. This is the kind of crap that starts me mind wandering and drives me literally to drink. I guess I'm just waiting to hear what you think of me now.
I'm proud of you.
I knew I was taking a chance telling you all this. But I never... I think I need...
Sure. I'm always here for you, Kate. There's nothing you can say that would ever change that.
Oh, well, that's not what I expected you to say. Sorry. I didn't realize you cared that much about me. And here I thought I was being stupid, bothering you with me problems. It feels good to know if I need you.
The Lees sell guns. Over by the tourist shop.
Hey, could you keep it down? Some of us are trying to fish here.
Night's the worst.
survived so many years undamaged. What luck.
play dead?
Stay clear of the quarry. Loads of trappers.
You give that fog crawler what for. Courtesy of the Daltons.
Grandpa George can rest in peace. The fog crawler is dead.
Wonderful. That's another chapter successfully concluded. With that fog crawler gone, we can send some folks up there to get the place ready for you. That's right. The farm is yours. Your own little piece of the island. It'll take work to get it up and running again, but you'll have help. And here's another 200 caps in gratitude for your service to the great Dalton lineage.
Surely a heroic Avenger deserves more than 200 caps.
I can agree to that. Here's another 100 caps. Now, I don't have to tell you that the bonds of blood and family are strong. As strong as any a person can know. But if you ask me, the strongest among them is the bond that exists between two married people. That's why the last part of this tale is the hardest one for me to tell.
You were married. What happened?
My late husband, Daniel, was the best fisherman this island ever saw. He and his crew had a favorite fishing spot out by Brooks Head Lighthouse. One day, a day I'll never forget, I see Danny's boat pulling up with his crewmen all shouting and carrying on. Turns out some trappers moved into the lighthouse. No doubt because the island told them to. They're all crazier than a bag of mole rats. Their leader was having a little target practice. Shot Danny right between the eyes. Killed him, just like that. You go and get that son of a bitch. You make him pay for doing the island's bidding.
How do I get to the Brooks Head Lighthouse?
It's southwest of town, not far from the quarry.
I'll make that trapper pay.
All right, then. Remember, trappers may be half crazy from the fog, but they still know how to use a gun.
I don't have time.
About.
Okay.
The body will recover but still, too much radiation too quickly can prove fatal. Caution is recommended.
Is that a Pip-Boy? I've heard about those. I'll be straight with you. It's never easy to ask anyone on this island for help, but I've got a responsibility to these people.
Uh-huh. I'm happy to help with anything I can.
If you say so. We get our drinking water from a purifier not far outside of town. We had a bad storm not long before you got here, and it must have damaged the fog condensers that protect the road to the purifier. I sent Howard Dunbar out to fix them. He was out there when the Mirelurks hit us, and I'm afraid they might have got him, too. I was hoping you might go have a look. If the worst happened, maybe you could get those fog condensers back online. If you're up to it, just head south out of town. I wouldn't ask a stranger to stick their neck out on our...
All right, I'll head out there now.
Good. Our water supply won't last much longer.
Looks like Howard didn't make it. I'll have to repair the fog condensers myself.
Tissue samples may provide... We must defeat these... The body can repair tissue damage, but still, too much radiation too quickly can prove fatal. Caution is recommended.
Remember, head south out of town. You'll find the fog condensers along the road. You can't miss them.
Those fog condensers are back online.
Good. Our water supply was starting to get low. Wasn't sure how much longer we could hold out. Did you find Howard?
He didn't make it.
I should never have let him go out there alone. Well, I said it was paying work. 200 caps should be enough.
Captain, nobody's gonna want to help you out, unless you're prepared to pay a fair wage.
Well, I can't argue with that. I suppose I could spare a little more. I can give you 250 caps.
Keeping everyone supplied with water is worth a lot more than that.
You drive a hard bargain, Mainlander. I'll give you 300 caps.
Thanks. Glad I can help you out.
That makes 2 of us. Now, here's your pay. I've got to start making arrangements for Howard. So I'll say goodbye. Brooks is a Mainlander, too. And a synth, whatever that is.
The hull took a battering, to be sure. But she wouldn't be standing at all if it weren't for you. They call me the Mariner, shipwright, handyman, and the only one keeping the harbor afloat.
Why doesn't anyone help you?
Each harborman is the captain of his own ship. Worked fine for generations on the homesteads. Your land, your rules. But when the island pushed them onto my dock, one by one, the ungrateful bastards expect me to look after my land, even though they're squatting on it, like wretches.
A pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. I hope the island doesn't kill you quick. I don't suppose you'd be willing to lend a hand, and they won't be easy to come by. 450 caps if you can, though.
So I'd be risking my life for only 450 caps.
I'm a bit short on caps. But I have old Jimmy's shotgun I can give you. Heavens no, he can't use it anymore.
Sign me up. I'll help.
Eagle's Cove Tannery. Tools are certain to be there. Now get.
Pretty sure we're not alone. That's how we do things around here. Well, we're not going to need that stuff anymore.
Everything to use.
chill.
instead.
The deterioration of this condition.
Take them all.
You should wash your hands after that. It can be unsanitary to handle the deceased.
Yes. Let's count the ammo and see what's left. Time to stop for a drink, yeah?
is. Why bother with that? We open in a museum or something.
Team up with a
mortuary. You see where I'm going with this, right?
Any more of the children of Adam, there could be war, Alan. Just stop this.
This ain't some innocent Avery. This is a damn saboteur. Those condensers down by the freshwater. The storm didn't take them out. She did. Shetty Mike spotted her.
But the children...
It's like I've been saying. The children of Adam are out to kill us all. This here saboteur meant to cut us off from food and water. Punishment is pretty clear, Captain.
Do what you must.
Yeah! Children bastards!
You were right, Alex.
Now will you listen to sense? The children of Adam need to be wiped clean off this island.
You've had your blood today. I can't stomach any more of it. All of you. Show's over. Go home.
Mariner.
You been to the tannery? You find my tools yet?
Here are your tools.
A fair bit of luck running into you. Here's your reward. Well earned. And now to work on the hull.
Food. Stim packs. Fully stocked.
Heads up.
Sure. Be glad to take... I mean, all manner of good I can... do with those tools.
You are a curious specimen. Despite our friendly town doing its best to chase you out, you keep helping us ingrates all the same. I got to ask, Why do you keep at it?
You're good people in some dire straits. Figured you could use a hand.
Huh? You running for office? Well, if that's the truth, we don't deserve you. Most folk here are set in their ways, yes? It makes no difference how hard you try to get in good. Heck, it took my family 3 generations, but there's a way. A downright insane way, mind you.
I'd love to change their opinion of me.
Do it right, and all mainlanders might get treated better. In olden times, leaders were chosen by something called the Captain's Dance. Legends say the toughest, meanest, and outright craziest hopefuls would, once the would-be captain killed the Mirelurk Queen. You do this, well, you won't be made captain, but you'll earn respect.
I'm ready to become a legend, then.
You what? You crack me up. There's an old Mirelurk feasting grounds by Emmett's Causeway. Go there and throw any kind of meat you got into the water, and then wait. I'll make sure there's a witness or two.
Uh-huh. Hey, Doc.
The patient, Andre, he's walking around. If I'm not too careful, there's gonna be 2 doctors in the harbor.
No problems here.
Lucky you.
Andre.
The doctor has said in time, I will fully recover. He says this is your doing,
The
but...
hole needs mending. You know, it just don't build itself.
It was really no big deal.
Well, I might beg to differ about that. This island is a sickness.
Uh-huh.
As soon as I am well. And I will slaughter everything in my path.
You're in pain. Yeah, I've been there. But your plan is unreasonable.
You wouldn't know. Once, Far Harbor was... well, not right. I'll think on what you said.
Is this a social visit, or is something alien?
And now you mean to make it worse.
They're still alive, aren't they? Figure I got a whole lot more work to do.
No deal. But this isn't the last of it.
Sure the hell looks
Hey.
like it to me.
Mariner says the fog's alive. Can hear you. So mind what you say.
Take it one day at a time.
Always sell what we can't use ourselves.
Ah, you there. Are you that detective I've heard about?
I guess you could say that.
Oh, wonderful. I wasn't sure how I was ever going to find you. I haven't been able to find any of the local police force. The louts? I don't want to start a panic.
Where did the crime take place?
At the Cliff's Edge Hotel, just north of the town. Will you help us? There may still be a murderer at large.
Who's the victim?
Well, we want to keep this out of the tabloids, but it's Ezra Parker.
Uh-huh.
Will you help us solve this heinous crime?
Who are your employers?
I shouldn't say out here in the open, but my employers are quite wealthy, as are the other patrons of the hotel. Please, you must help us. Every moment we wait, our residents are at risk.
Is this conversation on the clock?
Oh, yes. Well, I suppose I do have a bit of petty cash on me that I could provide for your time. Will you help us? There may still be a murderer at large.
This type of investigation usually requires a retainer.
Oh, you're a private investigator, not an employee of the state. Well, please, you must help us. Every moment we wait, our residents are at risk.
If there may be a murderer, I'm gonna need some danger pay as well.
I'm afraid that's all I have on me, but will you help us solve this?
Okay, I'll help.
Oh, thank goodness. Shall I guide you to the Cliff's Edge Hotel now?
Go ahead, I'll meet you there.
Very good. I shall meet you at the main entrance to the hotel.
We've been making the rounds, doing the job. It's time you learn the big secret. Everyone thinks that Desdemona is the big boss. She does what I tell her to because...
I'm not so sure about that.
Like I said, the big secret. We've come a long way since the beginning, but we're about more than that.
You've lied to me at least once. This is just more of the same.
Yeah, you got me. But you're gonna hear the same sort of lies elsewhere. There's other organizations out there, and in time, I'm sure they're going to spoon-feed you their own patented form of bullshit. Ignore the verbiage and look at what they're doing, what they're asking you to do, what sort of world they'd have you build, and how they're going to pay for it.
Yo, thanks for the advice.
I don't know if it's your good old-fashioned pre-war values or you just won the genetic lottery, but anyone that has you in their corner has an advantage. And at the end of the day, you'll need to make a choice. Make it the right one.
Seems to be growing well.
Whatever.
This better be worth our time. Time. Bunch of junk in here.
The hotel staff really needs to do something about the lobby. I should warn you, some of the other hotel guests are a bit, rowdy. I was forced to defend myself when a few. The registered patrons are in a more exclusive. Shall we be off?
Yeah, let's go.
Very good. This way.
When I thought we were getting along.
Hey. Left anything useful for us? Got it. Go ahead, run. I need a break anyway.
I was just getting warmed up.
That's it.
That got the blood pumping.
Cannibals.
There was a whole lot less of that.
won't be chewing on us.
Show a girl a good time.
I'd much rather be Enemies have been dispatched. Pulse and vital signs are still within acceptable parameters.
Watch your step. Bit of a mess in here. Watch your step. Bit of a mess in here. Watch your step. Bit of a mess in here.
I wish Daz would greenlight the occasional mission to help out humans.
Welcome to Vault
Sometimes
118.
just a little bit of
Your
help goes a
home
long
away from
way.
home, underground. Are you the detective we sent for?
Yes, I'm the detective.
Thank goodness. Let me just open the door for you. Well, it's about time the police sent someone out to investigate. We have many important residents and they're very worried.
Let's talk about my compensation first.
Very well. Consider this a retainer. Have a look at the crime scene for clues. And when you're ready, we can discuss your findings. They're at the crime scene again. Don't they realize that they're going to disturb the evidence? You'd better come with me, detective.
What the hell do you think you're doing? This is a crime scene.
Do you not see the glory of this is artistry?
What the hell is wrong with you?
Ezra, you have outdone yourself. This is your finest work. There is more emotion in his death than most have had in their entire lives.
Our friend is dead, Mr. Avita. Have you no respect?
I'm just saying that at least he had the decency to make a spectacle of it. There is nothing worse than
if I may,
That's
if
what
I
this
could
is
just
to you.
have
your attention.
You're sick.
I'm sorry for shouting. But the detective has arrived and shall begin the investigation henceforth. Please return to your rooms until the detective has examined the crime scene and had a chance to come speak with you.
Guess someone else felt the same way about brains and machines.
Have a look at the crime scene for clues. When you're ready, we can discuss your findings. You are free to question the residents, but their safety is our priority. So unless you have solid evidence, I would avoid accusations.
Is this blood? Looks like the brain enclosure was smashed. There we go. A baseball bat. What is this doing here?
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
I found the murder weapon.
Oh no. That's the bat from Mr. McKinney's movie. You don't think he could be involved, do you? I can't imagine.
Sure.
Was there anything else?
Never mind.
I'll be here should you need me.
Why'd you do it, huh? He deserved better than that.
You think I'm stupid? I saw the way he looked at you. You gonna tell me that's nothing?
It wasn't like that. We were friends. He helped me out of a tight spot or two is all.
I couldn't stand by like some pasty-faced Percy while he put the moves on my best girl.
But now the law is on our tail. What are we going to do?
Come away with me. Let's leave this dark hole of a city behind. We can be in Buenos Aires by tomorrow.
Oh, I want to believe you, I do, but you'll never let us go.
Then we'll make our stand here. I've got a gun for each of us.
No, 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 no. The line is, then we'll make our stand here. Two lovers together with a bullet for each of them.
God. Why can't I ever get that line? Forget it. I can't do this right now.
Ugh, fine. I'm going to the beach.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
Well now, if it isn't the brave detective. I haven't seen someone with a body like that in...
You're not so bad yourself.
You should have seen me before all this. Red hair that was the envy of every girl and legs for days, darling. I'm sure you'd rather hear some of my stories from the silver screen rather than talk about that nasty murder business.
I must say, you're quite the actress.
What can I say? It just comes naturally. Surely you must be here for my salacious stories of the silver screen.
Have you ever done radio? Your voice is quite enchanting.
Well, darling, play your cards right and maybe I'll whisper some sweet nothings in your ear. Care to hear some...
I must say, I've known flesh and blood girls who aren't half the woman you are.
Keep it up, Tiger, and we'll find out if you can handle how much woman I am. Care to hear some of my stories, Detective?
Why don't we grab a bottle of wine and go watch the sunset?
Sounds good, Detective.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
That was great, Detective, but we probably shouldn't make a habit of this. Catch you later, Tiger. Hey there, Tiger. Here for more stories about my acting career, or something else?
All right.
He'll deny ever saying it, but Keith once told me he caught Vince Natali and Sergio Amore together at a nightclub in a compromising situation. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
My favorite subject. Simply put, darling, I'm the greatest actress in the world. When this international scuffle blows up, did you need something else?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Well, it is a bit strange how obsessed Santiago has been with the murder. He did a whole series of paintings of me, hundreds! Did you need something else?
I found Keith's baseball bat at the scene of the murder. Any thoughts on how it got there?
I don't know, Detective. I can't really imagine Keith killing Ezra. Did you need something else?
What were you and Keith talking about when I came in?
Oh, that? We were rehearsing. Gotta stay sharp if we're going to rebuild Hollywood. But Keith always gets flustered when he's upset. Did you need something else?
Maybe later.
I'll be around, languishing from your inattention.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
It's obviously Santiago. He keeps going back to look at the crime scene.
I found your baseball bat at the crime scene. Care to explain how it got there?
Someone is clearly trying to frame me for the murder. It's probably Santiago. You saw him skulking around the crime scene.
What were you and Gilda talking about when I walked in?
Oh, we were just rehearsing a scene.
Maybe later.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help.
Hey, that's absolutely inspiring.
Well. If it isn't the long arm of the law. Tell me, are you a devotee of the arts? Does that cruel muse call you to her entrapping bosom?
Art is life. Without it, we are no different than animals.
Perhaps, if all we are is a sentience floating in a suit of flesh, or metal, I suppose, then art is the only true communion with the world. Come with me. Tell me, what does this piece say to you?
I don't know. It looks kind of like a face. That spot is the eye. The red blotch is its hair, and it's sticking its tongue out.
Indeed. This was the last piece I did in a series of portraits of Gilda. Number 1378. Her emotional landscape is superimposed on the portrait. The reality of the subject is distorted as the ego attempts to project itself. This way. Tell me, what does this one say to you?
It's the war. Bombs from every direction, no up or down, the world turned on its head.
I suppose in a way it must be. Art shapes the world, and the world shapes art in return. All art must therefore be constantly reborn through the lens of contextual and historic interpretation. We must ascend. And what about this one? And please be honest, for art without honesty is just politics.
It's cute, I guess. Some people like that kind of thing.
More than you would imagine. Truth be told, this is my best-selling piece. I did this series under a pseudonym, of course. This series has made more money than any of my serious works. And I did the whole thing as a lark. What does that tell you about the value of art to the common man? My fellow connoisseur of the art. Here to see my latest work?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
The person you should be looking at is Juliana Riggs. That Philistine would not know art from her own excrement. She and Ezra had a rather dramatic fight recently. You could hear her banshee screeches all the way across the hotel.
What were Juliana and Ezra arguing about?
I don't know. I was painting at the time and I was trying to block it out. Though I bet Gilda probably heard them. Maybe you should check with her.
I think you should explain why you keep returning to the crime scene.
It's for inspiration, detective. The others do not like to think about it, but even we shall die someday. Like Prometheus's torch, it kindles within me the fire to create as much art as I can, with the time that I have.
It sounds like you've done a lot of paintings of Gilda. Why her?
Our Gilda is a very singular creature, detective. I have never met another who clings to life so tenaciously.
You're still in love with Gilda, aren't you?
So what if I am? What business is it of yours?
Right. Tell me about yourself.
What is there to tell? I am one of the premier artists in the world. My work is primarily in oil paint, but I have been...
Maybe later.
Good. I hope my paintings are able to open your mind to new possibilities.
a pretty kitty.
Juliana, Mr. Whiskers died last
When I
month.
retire, I am totally
This
gonna
is
set up a maid
Scruffy.
service.
Remember?
Talk about demand.
Of course. Silly me.
Just let me have a look at the neural interface matrix, and I'm sure I can clear that.
No. No, it's not that. I've just caught another cold. Probably something that got in when they sent Pearl out.
Oh, God. Not this again. Last month you were convinced you had the measles.
You're not a doctor. What would you even know about it? Besides, I think it may be malaria.
First of all, I am a doctor.
Yes, but not a real doctor. Robotics isn't an actual medical degree.
Secondly, I've told you time and again, you can't get sick inside the suit. It's not physically possible.
I know when I'm getting sick, Bert. Now why don't you just wander off and play in your lab? Mr. Scruffy and I are going to rewrite the will, so he will get everything when I die because horrible Bert didn't believe me.
Oh, God, Juliana.
Have fun,
Whatever. I'm going to the lab. Hello, David. Did you need something?
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, well, I'm a scientist. You've probably met my wife, Juliana, already. Was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about your research.
Well, I was one of the leads on the team that created the first robo-brains, the precursors to our model. Most people don't find it all that interesting, and I'd rather not bore you. Was there something else, Detective?
I'd like to hear more about your research.
Oh, wonderful. Functionally, this model is more or less the same as the previous versions I worked on, but without the neural inhibitor and the reconditioning. The voice modulator seems to have some minor issues interfacing with the neural matrix, which can add some moodiness. But that's easily solved with regular tune-ups. Was there?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Oh, well, that's not really my field of expertise, but was there something else, Detective?
I heard that Juliana and Ezra had an argument a few days before he was found dead. Tell me about that.
Well, I was in my lab at the time, so I didn't hear it. But I think she found something in the overseer's office. I wasn't listening when she told me about it. I kind of had my head in my research. I don't know, really. I try to let her handle all the money stuff. Was there something else, Detective?
Robo-brains have a voice modulator. Tell me about that.
That's what allows us to recreate our original voices. They can mimic any normal human voice, actually. I've speculated for some time that the issues we had with our maintaining our original voices helps reinforce the neural network. Sort of. Was there something else, Detective?
Maybe later.
Very well. I'll just get back to my work then.
How'd anyone say?
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Juliana Riggs, heiress to the Riggs fortune and wife of Bert Riggs.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
If you ask me, it's one of those actors. Or that horrible painter. Their type is always the cause of violence.
I heard you had a big fight with Ezra a few days ago. Care to explain?
Oh, well, it wasn't that big a deal, really. He wanted more money to pay for repairs on the hotel. I wasn't feeling well that day and lashed out a bit at the poor man. I really should have listened to him more.
What's with all the junk in here?
These are our things. We're just waiting till the war blows over so we can bring them back to the mansion.
Maybe later.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective.
Sweet.
Good luck. She's open that
Made.
herself.
Keep you
Progress on construction of the second wing of the vault is completely stalled. Once the premier area of the vault had been completed, funding seems to have been cut off. My supervisors have informed me that they haven't received payment from Mr. Parker, and Vault-Tec won't pay out of pocket to continue construction. I've repeatedly approached Ezra about the finances, but he keeps telling me that Mrs. Riggs hasn't transferred the funds. However, when I asked her, Juliana said that she had just given Ezra extra for the gold paint in the rooms. I've hired an investigator to look for signs of embezzlement in a few weeks.
Sounds like Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
I found some evidence that Ezra was embezzling from you and the other investors.
Oh, well, I really don't believe that. Mr. Parker wouldn't do such a thing, I'm sure.
Maybe later.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective.
Protect and serve.
Hello, Detective. Did you need something?
Have you noticed Juliana acting strangely lately?
Oh, well, I'm probably just being paranoid, but she's been so much more pleasant lately. I mean, it's been nice, but also a bit unnerving. most people don't really understand us, but I always appreciated how she can just take charge of a situation. It's what allowed me to focus on my research. I'm worried something has happened to her. She doesn't seem like the same person. Was there something else, Detective?
What do you mean Juliana's not the same person?
My wife has always been a very harsh woman, Detective. I don't know who it is in our rooms, but that is not my wife, Detective. Was there something else, Detective?
Never mind.
Very well. I'll just get back to my work then.
Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
I think you're the real murderer.
That's just silly, Detective. Why would I want to kill Mr. Parker?
Give it up. I know your secret, Juliana. Or should I say, Ezra?
Well, Detective, that's quite the claim.
It's a shame. I thought I could keep the ruse going a little longer. Oh, well. Had to end eventually, I suppose. This doesn't have to end in more violence, Detective.
Why did you kill Juliana?
I hadn't planned on it, but Juliana figured out what I was doing and had to be dealt with swiftly. I thought I could get a bit more money out of this place before making my escape. What's it going to be, Detective?
Not a chance. Your murder spree stops here.
Then let us end this.
Attention. This is now a combat zone.
So violent.
In the area. This notice required by law. Protect and serve.
I found the killer. It was Ezra. He killed Juliana and took her place to hide his tracks.
My word. I never thought Mr. Parker was capable of something like this. What happened when you confronted him?
He attacked me, but it's over now. Your residents are safe.
There you are, Detective. Payment for your services and a bonus for uncovering such a heinous plot. I don't think we could have done it without you.
Protect and serve.
children of Adam are dangerous. Don't trust them.
What are you looking at?
Whoa, the fog. That's some firepower. It's dangerous, okay?
Seems to be growing well.
Every day, another harbor man leaves the island.
You're from the Commonwealth, right?
All right.
That's what you want.
unusual... Oh, there you are.
That face 3 times as
lot to waste stims on him like that.
Yes.
Still got. Then.
Jimmy, if you don't keep that little twerp Bentley out of my face, I swear to God I'm gonna throw this fucking terminal through the wall. He saw me coming across the log rolling course before work. He starts asking why I was out there at 5 in the morning. If you want to keep those extra profits rolling in, you better keep him in line.
One way to get the coolant pumping.
I never...
Let's count the ammo and see what's left.
This is for you. It appears we will review these logs for relevant data.
We're being followed.
Hi.
So the doc asked me to witness, so I'm witnessing.
These knuckleheads don't trust you now. Well, fuck them, right? I expect folk will be more talkative now. Might even have some more work for you. Maybe hit up Mitch at the last plant.
Seriously. Thanks, Teddy.
You are the most peculiar main person I've ever had the occasion to meet. Take this. And, if you're inclined, socialize. It's your party after all. Everyone, times are hard. But this here feast is proof that we can turn things around. Now I know mainlanders have been responsible for all manner of harm. But this one is special. This one did the captain's dance.
It's true. I saw it.
So in my book, he's not a mainlander anymore. He's one of us.
Yeah!
Mainlander. Ha ha!
Here's to you.
I saw the whole thing. The Queen. Shit.
Hi there.
Mister, I have to talk to you. I got 14 and a half caps. I want to hire you.
I may be able to help, but I don't want your caps.
They're right about you, they say. But if you help, you'll get paid. Harbormen don't belong on this dock. If we keep clinging here, we'll bleed out and die. To get better, to grow stronger, we need land. Echo Lake Lumber Mill has power lines that connect to the old wind farm. If you clear the land, Harbormen can wire up the condensers. Make it safe from the fog.
You know, you're quite a remarkable girl.
If you say so. I just don't want this pier to kill what's left of my kin. I know the money's a joke. But if my friends can resettle, I'm sure they'd do anything for you. And owe you big. Please, help.
I cleared the lumber mill for you.
We gotta go see the captain. My brother's going to get better. Here's the pay. I don't care if you don't want it. People keep leaving the island. But now that there's land to call their own, they'll come back. My friends have already sent word. We're going to turn back the tide. You'll see.
Here's to you.
Don't let the island catch you off guard. Buy my guns.
Bertha.
Excuse me, ma'am?
Smalls, we got no time for you.
The mainlander cleared out Echo Lake Lumber Mill.
Whatever you're talking about isn't as important as what Bertha's got to say.
We gotta get off the docks, Captain. If you give us some of those Acadian fog condensers, my friends are ready to homestead the lumber mill.
Surviving is about more than taming fog. We gotta stay together, Bertha.
But we're no good here. Harbormen need their own land, something to protect and hold.
I was wrong about you.
What?
Not you. You. Bertha knows this island better than you, Avery.
Right.
And Thrive, even.
I can lend a hand, too.
You would? Well, then their odds are sure to be better. Give them the fog condensers, Avery.
Well, I won't stop you, but until we deal with the children of Adam...
Sure.
Come, Bertha.
You might want to check up on Echo Lake. Bertha's friends would no doubt welcome you. And take this. You never cease to amaze.
Talk with Alan. I don't have time for you.
Lost my home when the fog rolled in.
We could always use some more ammo.
Don't forget to share.
Survived so many years undamaged. What luck.
Sure. I don't know if you've heard of that fog crawler that old Longfellow's been hunting, but we think she might be somewhere nearby. He calls her Shipbreaker. Been tracking her for years, but so far she's been too wily to catch.
How do you know this thing is nearby?
Old Longfellow eventually noticed that when this monster is close, radios go kinda haywire. He calls her Shipbreaker. Been tracking her for years, but
I've never heard of this Shipbreaker.
haven't heard of her yet? The biggest and meanest fog crawler on the island. Wiliest one, too. He calls her Shipbreaker.
Just tell me how to find this Shipbreaker and I'll take care of her.
Well, it may not be as simple as all that. Old Longfellow's been tracking this beast for years, and at least he's figured out a way to tell when she's in the neighborhood. If you tune the radio on that fancy Pip-Boy of yours to the right Longfellow says it's something to do with the radiation. You may want to talk to old Longfellow himself.
Hey.
What's the plan?
Hey.
Go on.
Hey there.
I'm listening.
I hear that you've been trying for years to track down an ancient fog crawler?
That's right. Shipbreaker, I call her.
Mm-hmm.
I expect they've told you about how to use the radio to tell when she's nearby. I figure that fancy portable
No time like the present. Let's find her.
Lead the way. She won't slip away this time.